Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. I am your host, John Burke. It is Monday morning here in Texas. It feels pretty good out. It's a little chilly in the air. Texas can't still make up its mind about if it's going to be hot or cold. Still don't know. Good Lord.
It's nice out. I like it.
It is. It's beautiful. It's like, is it too cold to take the bike? Because you get on that road and that wind kind of rips through you. But
I think so.
You think so? You think so? No, you were telling me about, so right prior to the show starting, Josh and I were talking about food, naturally, because we're both a couple of fat asses. And you were telling me about this Detroit-style pizza.
Oh, dude, it turned out so good.
So walk the audience through how you made this, because the way he describes it, folks, like if you're driving, do try not to touch yourself while he describes it, because it's like an ASMR food porn kind of thing. So
it turned out pretty good. I just found a recipe online and made my own dough. I like making homemade pizza anyway, so made my own dough. You let it rise for like 2 hours, and it gets that nice smell, like that bread smell. And so then you get an 8x11 pan, oil it down with olive oil, and then press the dough into it so all the corners are reached. Then you let it rise for like 45 more minutes. And so once that's done, you make sure it's all the way in the corners of the pan. And then you take, about 2 or 3 cups of cheese and just smother it on top.
mozzarella. Mozzarella. You got to do the mozzarella.
The mozzarella.
The mozzarella.
Then, you like 3 lines of sauce. Made my own sauce.
3 lines of sauce.
3 lines.
Very specific.
It's good. Yeah.
What,
you know
2 lines of tomato sauce?
I put a little too much sauce on it because I'm like,
yeah. You see, that's the difference between so I will die on this hill. New York has the best pizza. I'm sorry. Chicago is nothing but like pasta drenched in fucking sauce with like 3 inches of crust. Texas is like a little sliver of bread and then like at least a gallon of fucking tomato sauce and very little cheese. New York's got it right. They've got good bread, a modicum of tomato sauce, but a lot of cheese. And like their slices are so big that you got to fold it in half just to eat it. Just kind of like my penis. So
nice.
That's why we're never going to be on Fox, folks. No, but I think New York by and large has got it down. God bless the Italians.
It's okay. It's pretty good.
God bless the Italians.
There's even in Ohio, there's a place called Donato's.
Donato's.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's like always stores like that have like the best fucking food, like the Donato's or the Corleones. If you want to bump somebody off,
Yeah, so
that's incredible.
You put the cheese on it, and then 3 lines, and then just load it up with pepperoni, and then you pop it in the oven at 500 for about 15, 18 minutes. And it comes out so good. It's like so crispy because the edges are all crispy.
It's like the quarter piece of a brownie, how it's got that crisp to it. Yeah.
It slides right off of the pan.
In Iranian culture, a lot of people don't know this, there is a whole food for that crispiness. It's called tadak. And it's a rice plate, but the underbelly of it is where the rice gets a little crispy and brown and it tastes the best. But it's akin to the corner of the brownie where it's nice and crispy, got that gooey crunch, or the pizza where it's got that. So it's a condition of like crunchiness.
I'll have to.
We're going to have to do like an ASMR just on food alone. Is what we're going to have to do.
I'll have to make it for you. It was good. I like totally making pizzas.
Well, I was telling you prior to this, I smoked my first rack of ribs.
Oh, cock. Oh.
That too. No, that too, for sure. Actually, it's my second. My first one didn't turn out so good. It was going to be a month ago. But I used Jason's Grill Your Ass Off. I used the whiskey salt, basically rubbed it down there, and then put the gunpowder. I love that stuff. It's incredible. Then basically I think I put the grill at 225, throw the ribs on there for an hour, then take them off, wrap them in foil, but before you finish the wrapping, put a little sauce on there, a lot of sauce rather, and then I threw it back on there for about another 3 hours, three and a half hours, and by the time we got done, the meat was just falling off the bone. It tasted so incredibly good. The girlfriend's a foodie, and she's always going to give me honest feedback. Like I respect the fact that if something's not good, she will be honest about it. So she tried, just like, baby, these are the best. I was like, yeah.
That's right. Say it again.
Say it again for daddy. Yeah.
Your lips look a little dry. Why don't you wet them?
Why don't you wet them with that rib meat? Yeah. Athena loved them. I gave Athena 1 or 2 of the ribs. I had to, But I was really excited about it. So I'm grilling ribs again tonight. And she's going to make something out of that World of Warcraft cookbook. I think it's the Elven bread or the cream puffs. One of the 2. But before that, I'm going to the gym for like 5 hours.
By the way, your tits look great.
I've actually been losing weight. I've been doing this HIIT workout program stuff again, and it's like been cutting, like it definitely sculpts and tones you very quickly. And I fucking hate it. Like I hate doing the workouts. They suck. But usually in life, the things that suck the most are going to be the best thing for you, especially when it comes to prostitutes. They suck really hard. You got it right there. Oh, good Lord. It's Monday, folks. It's Monday. We're back. And as you know, before we get into it, there's a lot of very interesting topics to discuss today. Taliban are talking shit against Prince Henry, or Harry, whatever that douchebag's name is. And apparently he talked about in his little interview that he got a frostbit dick during his brother's wedding. Why? I don't know. Why wouldn't you put on some underwear, you weirdo? But okay. Biden chooses to visit the border wall. For what reason? I have no fucking clue. Open-minded on that one, open ears. And then we've got some trans. We got some trannies out there really fucking it up for all of you, huh? Fucking trans people, I swear to God. The more and more that people start to hate them, it's like, I get it. You're a bunch of douchebags. But anyway. That's the greatest way to start an advertisement, isn't it? It's like, fuck the trans. Hey, this week by Shell Shocks. Good Lord.
Get your life right.
No, I got a 7-day suspension on Twitter again. Because incredible. I said trans people need mental help and their opinions are invalid. They got me for hate speech.
I don't know. You probably have like a trans person assigned to your account specific. It's like, that son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch is doing it again.
Got you by your balls now.
This is very unladylike. I don't like the way he says this. Fucking wackos, dude. Oh, my God. Well, hey, the monthly deal, we're giving away a brand new iPhone 14, folks. What do you got to do to be entered to win? What do you have to do to be entered to win is just spend $50 or more at shellshockcbd.com. It's just that easy. Again, $50 or more on any products or product purchases at shellshockcbd.com to include our subscriptions. If you spend $50 or more, you're automatically entered to win a brand new iPhone 14. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of the month. We will email them and then send them the phone. No, this is not refurbished. It is brand spanking new. Josh and I have not even messed with it. Straight from the factory to your doorstep. Just that simple. We appreciate the love and support there. So again, any order, $50 or more. That's like one product. That's like some Halo gummies. It's going to get you high as fuck. There you go. We got the Rocket Fuel shirts and hoodies are 50% off. No codes needed. If you want to grab yourself a Shell Shock hoodie, get it now, 50% off. Winter's coming to an end, so we're liquidating our stock. We got the Halo Ultra gummies. They're the Halo Normal are 25 milligrams of Delta 8. Delta 8 is basically a THC. The Ultra are 50 milligrams. A little bit more expensive, but way more powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got the all-new tattoo bomb that Josh is holding up over there. This stuff is just incredible. It's beautifully packaged. It comes in a deodorant-style dispenser because we know how much people don't like getting schmutz all over their hands. You can just apply this to the tattoo area. This definitely makes the colors in your ink pop. And it's CBD infused, and it's great for the skin. We have scented and unscented. So, hey, if you have tattoos or whatever the case may be, try it. $20. $20 for something like that. It's going to be great for your skin. It helps with your tattoo. And there you have it.
You know, the scented one smells really good.
It does. Tyler did a very good job. Very good job on that one. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. So good night, folks. Nah. ShellShockCBD.com. And also don't forget, if you're watching us over on Rumble, Drunken Debates. What do we think about it? Did y'all watch? Y'all tune in for Drunken Debates? What'd y'all think? This week coming up, I'm going to be a debater. I think Rob Noor is going to be the moderator. We've already got the panel set. It's 3 left, 3 right. Myself will be on the right / center-ish, I guess. So I'll be debating this weekend over at Drunken Debates, which streams only on Rumble for me, the John Burke Podcast Rumble channel. And we appreciate your love. So if you haven't followed us over there, please go do so. We appreciate that. And you can also donate to the show over on the Locals community page. The link is on my Rumble page itself. It says, go support John's Locals group. So with that being said, without further ado, let's get into the news. Oh my God!
Real quick, how long did the Drunken Debates go?
2 hours. I kept it just the 2 hours. Yeah. We could have kept going. We had 2 panelists that had to go, but I think anything over 2 hours, like it starts to like okay. I had 2 more topics to bring up, but I figured two hours is enough. Everybody got their say in, and I felt like it went really good. There was some back and forth, a little bit of heated areas here and there, but that's fine. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But overall, I think people enjoy it because it offers the panelists, especially the lefty panelists, offer some very unique perspectives. Ones I don't necessarily agree with, but I do find that I have some agreements on some of the things they say. Joe Frazier was on. He was talking about education rights and things like that, which I think is it should be a very prominent issue in America, and it's not. It's really not. But he made some really good points in there. But then he went into how minorities are mistreated by the education system, and I'm like, okay, well, all right, that's then you lost me there. But okay. making generalized statements this day. Like I'm not going to get into it, but you know where I'm going. Like as a moderator, you're sitting there, you want to say something. It's like, I can't. It's not my place. I'm not a debater. So this weekend, or this Friday at 7:30 p.m. CST, I'll be able to get my rocks off there. Like, you fat slut. No. So, real quick, before we get into the actual news, the McCarthy, he's in. He got appointed. He got the votes.
12 times a charm.
12 times a charm. Actually, was it like 12 or 15? How many was it?
I thought it was 12.
Was it 12? Well, either way.
Chat.
I figured he was going to get it. We all kind of knew it was coming. The 20 that held out, kudos to them. But essentially, they got some...
concessions.
But here's the thing that just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so if McCarthy threw Trump under the bus, he did. He threw Trump under the bus after January 6th. He basically said that Trump bared a lot of responsibility for the insurrection, yada, yada, yada. And Trump turns around and endorses this guy. And also, McCarthy's a Ukrainian whore. He's going to send your money to Ukraine. He's in favor of that. He was also in favor of the January 6th committee. But do people not just see that Trump is kind of an idiot sometimes? He endorses McCarthy, who threw him under the bus. Trump has fired people for less in the past that weren't loyal to him and his administration. And then Trump turns around and endorses this guy. Mm-hmm. And then there was a picture that floated around that even Marjorie Taylor Greene herself tweeted out, where basically she's handing a phone with Donald Trump on it to one of her people that was voting against McCarthy, saying, like, Daddy wants to talk to you. She didn't say that, but it's kind of like, come on. Do people finally see why I say Trump loyalism is very dangerous? I don't say it very often because I feel like maybe it's just kind of toot my own horn or suck on my own dick, but I fucking called that a mile away. How many times have I said that Marjorie Taylor Greene is a fucking Trump loyalist, therefore she cannot be trusted? And when push came to shove and those 20 Republicans needed more support, she wasn't there. She sided with Trump. Trump sided with the swamp. I don't get how MAGA Republicans can even vote for Trump anymore. And I'm telling you, if Trump continues to keep this up, I'm Team DeSantis all the way. I hope he does run. Dude, you sit there and he complains about the swamp and then just repopulates said swamp. McCarthy is a fucking neocon. And here's the thing, like, we really saw all the grifters come out. All the fucking big names, so-called conservatives came out. And what did they do? They backed his call. Kirk, Sobasek, Shapiro, Hannity, Levin, all these I don't think, did Bongino?
Do what?
Did Bongino endorse McCarthy? I hope he didn't.
No.
Good. I don't think Crowder did either. I hope he didn't.
He just, his take on, Bongino's take on it.
Nice. We went over that.
Right.
I get that. But the same token, it's just like all these big name conservatives, like it sounds like you're nothing more than fucking grifters at this point. Because for me, it was like this was the decision between what the congressional representatives want or what the people want. And man, I can tell you right now, like I watch social media very closely. I did not see McCarthy garnishing anywhere near the support that these congressional representatives with the likes of Crenshaw and the rest of them said he had. Mm-hmm. He does not have that much support with the people. He doesn't. I just don't get that. So
yeah, not that great a pick.
The one thing that I did enjoy seeing, though, is on Truth Social. I hopped over there, and you can follow me at John Burke over there, to check Trump's account. And he was getting fucking ratioed in the comments. I was happy to see a lot of his voter base saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. I was glad to say, I didn't think I would. I thought I would go. I mean, of course, you got people over there that are going to suck Trump's dick no matter what. But now you start to see that when Trump becomes the face of the GOP, that's a very dangerous thing. Because Trump is not always right. Oh, and by the way, the Supreme Court struck down his bump stock ban. Did y'all see that? Yeah. Supreme Court said, no, they're good to go. You can't ban that. Trump lost that one. And you're finally starting to see a little bit, folks, why the loyalists are dangerous to the Constitution. McCarthy is not a constitutionalist. He's the furthest thing from it. It's interesting to me. Mm-hmm. But we got McCarthy. I guess the first order of business is to, I think, defund the 87,000 IRS agents.
Good.
Which is kind of like, yeah, it is good. But it's like, is that the first thing we really want to do? Because I feel like there are I'm not saying it's not important. Yeah, but I am saying there are certain things that should be more pressing than defunding those 87,000. There are other things. Like, fix the fucking system.
Yeah,
like I'm sorry.
Take a little bit longer, I think, than
not necessarily.
Like with the gavel.
He can the same thing with the IRS agents.
That's defunding it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you start to defund things. I mean, you get little wins, start chipping away at it. I mean, that's probably the easiest thing to get off of your plate, right?
But I feel like we're not prioritizing the things that should be put in the front, such as term limits.
Well, I think
72 hours to read a bill.
87,000 IRS agents is pretty alarming.
But how did that even happen in the first place? Congress. So the system has to be fixed first before you can start. I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. But at the same token, it's like we can't get to our job if the vehicle to take us there is broken.
Could you think
Congress is broken?
That 87,000 IRS agents are going to go after people like Donald Trump who are only paying $750?
No, they're going after you and me.
Yeah.
But nothing says that we can't go after them eventually. But right now, I want to fix the system first. And I feel like putting the IRS agents there, it's like, no. I was like, basically, look at the concessions he made to the 20 Republicans. And of the 20, I think 5 more still said we're not changing our vote. I think Boebert was one of them. I think Gates was one of them. I could have that wrong.
Gates, I believe he just said present.
Yeah, so did Boebert.
Yeah. So,
dude, they went up with Boebert went against MTG. I was like, damn, I am impressed with her. Now she does say some stupid shit. I'm not even gonna ignore that. But I don't know. Him putting up the IRS agents, I think that's just one of those. I think that's an optics. I think give the Roman mob something, give the Republican mob something. Yeah. And the other thing that I don't get is that now the concession is it can take one vote to oust a speaker, or at least put it to a vote. McCarthy's got the majority of the GOP vote. You think he's fucking worried about that? You've given him nothing.
I don't know.
Or he's giving you nothing. Everybody's like, it just takes one vote to get him. It's like, bro, he's got the majority of the GOP in the House. What are you talking about?
I mean, you send another couple $1 billion over Ukraine, I think you lose a lot of support there. And you start to see
how the fuck did they support him to begin with? Because majority of these GOP fucking Republicans are Ukraine supporters.
Yeah. Well, I
with
think
your
it's like
money.
You say, it's like trying to find the turds through the diarrhea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if we pulled a lot of congressional salaries and they sent that money to Ukraine?
That's what they should be doing.
That's what they should be doing.
There should be cuts all across the board as far as government salaries
go. Absolutely. Absolutely.
They make way too much money.
I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like that whole IRS thing right off the cuff is just like, bro, yes, but I think in terms of prioritizing the things that need to be addressed now, that ain't it.
That border security,
that is bigger than the IRS. Important. Yeah, that's actually getting people fucking killed. Drugs, fentanyl's flowing. I read an article today. A teacher OD'd on fentanyl right in front of his students. Didn't even know he was taking it.
Yeah, it's in everything.
It's nuts. Mm-hmm. It's fucking nuts. But to go back to the original point, Biden chooses wall for photo of first border visit after ending Trump's project. President Joe Biden tweeted an image of his first ever border visit Sunday that featured part of the wall or border fence in El Paso, Texas, after he and his party shut down President Donald Trump's border wall. You know, this is the reason why we don't have a finished wall.
I can't stand that asshole, man.
It's because of all you fucking liberals out there that you cried so much about anything Trump did, be it good or bad. You cried either way. So as a result, your voter base basically screamed at the sky about this wall so racist that you can't find me one country that exists in this world that does not have border enforcement, border security, or it's illegal to cross over without having an actual passport or being a citizen. But for some reason, liberals are fine with it. They're fine. I love how willing liberals are to spend your money.
These stupid idiots, when they took over that swath of Seattle, first thing they did was put up walls.
Put up walls, hand out guns.
They started handing out guns.
Started raping the women. Yep. And, here's the thing. Why Biden's visiting the border at this point, it ain't going to change anything. He's not going down there and he's not going to be like, oh, man, I fucked up. We're going to go ahead and just plot a new course and go a different direction. No, he's not. Presidents don't do that. They don't come out and say, hey, guys, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's only oh, you caught me, my bad. The humility is gone in these presidential candidates or these presidents, whatever you want to call them. This guy's a joke. Meanwhile, Biden still didn't apologize for the whipping thing. Remember the Haitian thing? And then they said we're taking away their horses because apparently there was a photo that looked like one of these border patrol officers on his horse was whipping a Haitian. But in fact, he wasn't.
I don't even think it looked like he was whipping him. It just looked like his rein was like...
Yeah, if you don't know what horses and reins are, which a lot of people don't, that's where it was coming from. So the White House definitely monopolized on the vast amounts of ignorance when it comes to horses that I feel like a lot of Americans have. But yeah, if you've ever ridden a horse and you see the reins, you use the reins on the horse, absolutely. But on human beings, well, to be honest... I think Biden knew exactly what he was doing with this. He knew what it looked like. Oh, it's a black guy with a white border patrol. Fuck yeah, let's roast this. But it blew up in their face because the investigation came to find out. It's like, no, we weren't. And Biden never apologized. I don't know if they got their horses back or not. They pushed. Biden said, from his own words, they're going to pay. Towards his own border patrol agents. They're going to pay. Bro, you have weaponized, you have demonized very same organizations that have been sworn to protect, well, you. I just don't get this. These people are off their rockers, man. They are off their fucking rockers.
Yeah, I think it's important that he went down there just because you have the fringe voters who will see what's going on. So they see that the city of El Paso is trying to clean up the streets of illegal aliens, and then...
So Josh was telling me that Greg Abbott had written a handwritten letter and handed it to President Biden as soon as he stepped off the plane, basically telling Biden that, hey, you're fucking up. We need help. We need all this. You're not doing it. But even more damaging than that, because that ain't going to change Biden's mind. Biden's not listening to Governor Greg. He's not going to, because he's a Republican, and anything to do positively with the wall, he's not going to do, because that'll upset his voter base, because liberals want illegals flowing over that border. But I think the most damaging thing, the most damning thing, if you will, is the before and after photos of the homelessness in the streets of El Paso prior to President Biden going down there. Now, again, folks, look, the right's already convinced Biden's a reject. He's a piece of shit president. It's the left, fringe voters, you've got to convince. Something like that screams volumes. Why are you clearing off the homeless? Why are you trying to clean up the streets prior to the president coming? Well, folks, because the emperor has no clothes and he can't handle the truth. We don't want but here's the other thing. If the press actually gave a shit about what's going on at that southern border, those photos would have been circulating all over the internet prior to Biden even announcing he was going to go.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care.
No.
But being that Biden's going down there, wherever the president goes, there's a massive spotlight that follows with him. Anything that encompasses or is encompassing that spotlight is going to get attention. So what they're trying to do is basically everywhere that Biden walks, clean it up, make it look nice. Things are going great out here. Oh, those aren't gunshots. They're fireworks. Don't worry about that. Just the Mexicans having their fun over there. They're doing a siesta piñata or some shit like that. They love doing that, right? That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Wherever the president goes, they've got to cleanse the area, or sanitize the area of any possible negative PR that could go against him. And the homeless people, they're the first to go.
Yeah.
They're the first to go.
Yeah, I think it's, Abbott handed him the letter, and then... he posted on his Twitter account. Like I said, I think it just, to Democrats, it's not going to make a difference.
You're never going to convince. It's the fringe.
It's the fringe people who need to see what's going on. Like the sane people who have, some sense, they'll be like, that's dangerous, because he brings up the fact that it's the Texans that live in El Paso and the border towns that are really suffering the most out of everybody in the country. And then, it goes upwards. So I think it was important. I think Greg Abbott did a good job there as far as, handing him a letter as soon as you get off the plane.
I hope Republicans don't look at this and be like, oh, haha, we got him. It's like, that ain't going to do shit, dude.
No, but it's chipping away at a bigger problem. I mean, we'd love to see a sledgehammer come in there and just knock it to the ground, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Well, we'll see. Biden ran in 2020 on a promise to build not another foot of Trump's border project. Why would you refuse? Forget politics. Why would you refuse to build a wall at the southern border where people are coming over illegally? He refuses to do that.
I'm
Why?
Going to say because he's pro human trafficking.
Yeah.
He's pro drugs and pro illegal immigration. He's for all those things. So that's the only conclusion you could draw for not wanting to finish a border.
I think it's because of Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
Anything Trump does, they're going to do the opposite.
These guys are just criminals, man. He's just a straight up piece of shit, all of them. Everybody in that administration. I
do want to go back real quick, and we're going to take some calls on here. I want to get some people's opinions. I want to go back to the whole... the Speaker McCarthy thing. If you go look at Marjorie Taylor Greene's Twitter feed right now, she's posting a video of making it look like she's such a badass, and she's like running down to get a selfie with McCarthy as soon as he gets the vote. Like, this woman, dude, I don't know what's wrong with her, but I want to get people's opinions on this as far as Where do you see 2023, 2024 going? Trump's already announced his bid for presidency. Do you think DeSantis is going to run? Do you think Noam is going to run? Because I will say this right now. If Trump continues this pattern of picking bad picks, swamp creatures, he's basically destroying the MAGA movement because you're already putting back into place the rhinos that you said you wanted to get rid of, which, again, Trump has notorious for very bad picks. And then secondly, will Trump's behavior pave the way and create an opening for DeSantis to slide in and just shred Trump? Because DeSantis, all he has to do is just ignore Trump. That's all he's got to do. Florida is doing very well. He's doing very well over in Florida. DeSantis, like, he's playing it smart. He's building his camp. And it's growing. It's growing very quickly. Because you noticed, now watch. You remember that these influencers I tell you about, that Alex dude, the Brustler or whatever his guy's name is? He went after DeSantis. Other influencers went after DeSantis to try and make him akin to these GOP Jeff Bushes and like, because they knew he could be a potential threat for Daddy Trump. It's not your people's best interest these influencers and stuff have in mind. It's who's paying them. That's all they care about. We don't take paychecks from political candidates or anybody. We take paychecks from Shell Shock. That's it. So nobody can buy us off. You know, our intentions are noble because I want the candidate that's got to go in there and let me keep the majority of my fucking money, which I think is constitutionally very sound.
Yeah.
But these other people, they're grifters. They are going to side with Trump no matter what because they're on Trump's payroll. They're making a lot of money off of him. They're enjoying the king's good bounty, if you will. And they always want him to remain king. And after Trump is no longer king, what are they going to do? They're going to grift to the next one and the next one. That's the turning point, people. That's all of them. All these blue checks, that's all of them. Because look how they attacked DeSantis right out of the gate. And that tells me DeSantis probably should run.
Do you think Biden's going to
run again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he already said he would. Do I think he's going to make it? No, I don't.
That's why
that dude's so out of it right now. Oh my God.
That's why they're putting a lot of steam behind Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
And they're starting to you can tell when these
Do you think him or Newsom? Because you said Newsom. I could see Newsom running. Newsom said he wouldn't,
I
but
think
Newsom
they go
said,
back to the well and go Hakeem Jeffries and like he's Obama-esque.
Yeah.
You know, sort of a dark horse candidate where, you know, he comes out and can rally the team. So
we'll see.
I think it's because it's just you have these influencers on Twitter and social media that are just putting a buzz behind them. I mean, nobody's talking about Newsom now, but that's not to say that Newsom wouldn't throw his hat in the ring.
I think he will.
But I think Hakeem Jeffries is going to be their guy.
Could very well be. Well, get your calls, folks. The number is 214-817-1689. Information regarding the topic being Trump's pick for McCarthy. Do you see DeSantis taking a stab at 2024? And if he does, do you think he actually poses a threat to Trump? Taking your opinions on that one, because, again, I think that's a very heavily discussed topic right now. And it's definitely I never saw the GOP split into this level. I never saw these mainstream conservatives out there in the media world going this direction. Go ahead. Yellow.
John, what's going on? This is Edmund.
What's going on, man?
Josh, how you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing,
much. I'm down here in Dallas, Texas, and I'm loving this weather, man.
What do you think? What do you think about what we're discussing?
The guy I'm worried about is going to run for the Democrats. I think it's going to be that former New York governor. What's his name?
Cuomo?
Yeah, it's Cuomo.
No, not Cuomo.
De Blasio.
The mayor. I'm sorry.
De
Blasio.
I think he's going to make a run. Yeah.
Why do you think that?
I'm thinking he's going to. Well, because he ran last year, and I think the only reason why he conceded last year was because I'm going to say probably because Biden got more of a more support behind him on that side of it. But de Blasio is one that I'm kind of concerned with.
What do you think between Trump and DeSantis, though? Well, number one, what do you think about Trump backing McCarthy?
I think that's a mistake. I think that's just stupid to get behind McCarthy. McCarthy is nothing more than just another neocon. Just like you said, he's a rhino. He's got his own agenda. I think he'd cave in 2 seconds to the left. Surprised he didn't go to the left to try to garner even more support. And I think the only reason why he didn't was because of, like I said, what Matt Gaetz said earlier. You know, he would pull out, which would be stupid of him to do so.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think. Thank you for your call, by the way. I don't think it was Gates was going to resign. I think he basically said he was going to resign if McCarthy went to the left and tried to get them. And like I said, if McCarthy did do that, that's career suicide. That'd be the dumbest thing for him to do because, again, it just tells me that if you don't get your way within the GOP, you're willing to go to the left just to get your way. It's like, bro, there's just certain people you do not negotiate. You went to the enemy, you negotiated with them, you turned your back on your own. It's like, no, because sometimes you just don't get your own way. That's just how it goes. But when you're willing to go to the Democrats and for, like, hey, if you'll endorse me, it's like, no, now you're always going to be viewed as, well, you're in their book. You're in their pocket. So that's just my opinion on that. But yeah, let's take another call. Yellow.
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that Trump backed McCarthy like that.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say that is because Trump's pretty petty. He usually holds a grudge.
Yeah,
for,
that's true.
Anything that's said about him. So I'm thinking that either he tried to cut some kind of back deal before this vote went down. Because, I mean, why else would Marjorie Taylor Greene be getting a phone call for her to pass it on to another congressman?
That's actually a very good point.
And I get that phone call. My first thought is, well, fuck you. I mean, I don't represent a former president. I represent my constituents.
No, something you just said made me think Trump's trying to win over the neocons because I think that he thinks DeSantis is going to run. Think about it. Like Trump's trying to freaking pull them into his side because he knows he's trying to turn them against the McConnells, I bet. But he's using McCarthy to do it, which is still, I don't know if Trump's thinking that way. But it's just kind of like, it's slimy. It's slimy. All of it's slimy.
I think that's just politics, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. As for the Democrat thing, I think the last caller had a good point because look at the roster of the Democrats. They have nobody. They're backing this Jeffries guy. No one's heard of him. His only positive is he can read off a teleprompter. You know,
the same for Obama. It was the same for Obama was unheard of, but they got themselves a very, I wouldn't say animated, but he's a very good speaker. Like he was able to, but it could be the same thing. Could be the same thing because just because they're an unknown does not mean that they're not dangerous. Because literally Obama came out of nowhere, boom, president 2 terms.
De Blasio also has the money. He's also a billionaire.
Yeah, it's
true. He's got that socialist agenda that he had with when he was running in New York City.
Yeah.
So he's got that going for him. So the far left will support that as well. So who knows?
Yeah. Well, thank you for your call, man. I appreciate that. I didn't think about that. Trump pushing McCarthy secures him who exactly?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think unless you're really in that arena, it's hard to kind of tell what's going on behind the scenes, and you're just going by the optics that are shown to us on television. You know what I mean?
But the same token, I get that. That's true. It's like, but it shouldn't be that way.
No, it shouldn't be that way, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that most Republicans are shitty too.
Yeah.
There's only probably a small handful of people out there who are really have their constituents at heart when they're going into politics in the first place and not their own personal wealth.
Yeah.
Which, as we can tell, most of them are
it's bullshit.
It for their own personal wealth.
The only reason I think maybe I'm wrong on this is I've never heard any of the other mainstream influencers or commentators say anything remotely close to that. Am I wrong on that?
I don't think so.
Has anybody made that come to that conclusion, or is that just me?
I don't think so. It makes sense.
It does make sense. It's like, I'm not trying to play those 4D chess. I still think it's a shitty move to make. Don't get me wrong. You're still endorsing a neocon and put him in the House Speaker role. I don't agree with that. But Trump does things for Trump, and there's a reason for that. Like the other caller said, Trump is petty, and he does hold grudges. So Trump's got a plan. He's got a reason. The difficult part is, what is he doing?
Well, do you think he ran in the first place for himself or because he loves the country?
Because he loves the country. Yeah. 100%.
So,
well, I also say personal reasons, too.
Yeah.
Like lower taxes, which is fine.
If he became president again, I think he would still do a good job.
I do, too. But at the same token,
not to say that you would agree with everything that he does, but you got to be president for everybody. You're just not president over a small group of people. So you got to try to make everybody as happy as you possibly can.
But let's take a step back here real quick. Let's look at what DeSantis has ushered into Florida versus what Trump has ushered into America. And I think being that DeSantis has done it on a smaller scale, it still doesn't discredit the fact that he's done it without Trump. Now, Trump endorsed him.
Yeah.
But DeSantis, like, my God, he got the Don't Say Gay bill. Like, he's going after the right demographics.
Well, it never said don't say gay.
Yeah, I know. But people know what I'm talking about.
Right.
The forget what the actual HR for it was. Or the bill. It's a smart move he's making right now as far as going for the middle class family.
Yeah, well,
or just the moms in general.
He shows that he's got balls to stand up to pedophiles, like big companies like Disney, and taking away a lot of their power that they had in that state.
Which is what Republicans are wanting to see more of. They're actually wanting to see actionable things occur, so it builds faith in the representative. DeSantis, he's doing it. He is doing it. Now, Abbott's kind of like 50%. Sometimes he will, sometimes he won't.
Yeah, he's not the greatest governor, but
he's not.
I mean,
I would take a DeSantis over Abbott.
1,000 times better than Beto O'Rourke.
100%.
You know, I would have loved to have seen Alan West step in and see what he could have done.
That would have been
for
nice.
the state, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. I got a post taken down on Instagram yesterday, the day before. I made a video talking about why I just don't understand why people are okay with McCarthy being in there. And then somebody was like, why don't you run and change it? And I was like, look, here's the reality. And I made a post about it. The reality of God's truth is this. Who am I going to run as? An independent? They never fucking win. Or a GOP Republican? Hell no. They're never going to embrace me. Absolutely not. It's like, we're literally the types of people without a political home is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I think that's why Trump... he's not a GOP. He's not a Republican. I mean,
Trump has money, though.
He's got
Trump
money,
has money,
but he went in like a bull in a china shop.
He did.
He didn't care if he wasn't a
also
typical
has money.
Republican.
Yeah.
You know, he went in and, you know, pissed on everybody and got
Trump,
up there and started
Trump
talking
had
about
his own audience. He had a big enough voice on his own without the GOP endorsements. He had enough money to do his own campaigning and stuff like that. Whereas I'm the complete opposite.
There's a lot of people who didn't like him just from this TV show, The Apprentice. I mean,
Which
you could have
I thought
talked
was
about
really stupid. It's like, you're not going to like him based upon that. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I get it.
I just didn't like his personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. He comes off as a crass person. I just want somebody that comes in and is going to do what they say they're going to do. If you're going to say you're going to build a border wall, build a fucking wall.
Well, that also comes down.
Cut taxes.
But that comes down to the people of at least being educated enough and experienced enough to be able to see when a politician is just giving you a campaign promise that's bullshit that they can't fulfill unless they have the support of Congress. Because Trump did it. Everybody does it. Yeah. Like Beto O'Rourke is like, yeah, we're coming after ARs. Like, you can say that all you want. You don't have the support of the Texas Congress. Like, you are vastly outnumbered. And then when it comes down to like federal Congress, it's just like, or DC Congress, you're like, how are you going to do this? So people are like, oh yeah, because Beto said he's going to do it, he's going to do it. It's like, it doesn't work that way. There's actually other factors that come into play when it comes to getting a bill or a law passed. And so it's just like people.
Yeah, it comes down to.
Who do we blame? The politician for lying or people not being smart enough to know better because they're just uneducated?
Both.
Yeah, true. Both.
I mean, both are at fault. But I think it was in Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, where he talks about negotiations and negotiating with China and how their tactic would work.
That Jack Sobusay, whatever that dude's name, the intelligence officer. Some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff is just so fucking cringe. But he comes out there and he makes this tweet of Marjorie Taylor Greene with the phone. And he says, "The art of the deal." I'm like, what? I was like, you just had 20 Republicans basically hold up the entire House GOP and basically controlled you guys, and you think this is because of Trump? I was like, Trump just did way more bad for himself than he did good for anybody else. I don't think y'all realize that. But again, hail to the king. Enjoy the king's good bounty. Jack, the rest of you Turning Point grifters,
I think
good
you brought
job.
up a good point as far as trying to mitigate DeSantis's traction moving forward. Just
I think so too, yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good point.
I would tell you this right now. They're going you saw a forecast or you saw a behind the scenes early edition of how they're going to attack DeSantis. This Alex Brussels kid, I think he's like 25, used to be a massive Trump hater, now he's a Trump loyalist. He works with Ryan Fournier. They have a company. Watch him. Watch what he posts. Watch what he says. He telegraphs the tactic and the role they're going to take.
Is he the guy that was standing on the steps of Congress and shouting at AOC?
No, that's Alex Stein.
Okay.
Alex Stein, 99, primetime. He's fucking hilarious. He's like a professional troll.
He is pretty funny.
No, this other guy is, I've seen his stuff come across my feed. Well, he's shared heavily in the Turning Point group, but he once made even a tweet that said, hey, trust the influencers. We know what we're talking about. We would never steer you in the wrong direction. It's like, dude, if you ever make a tweet, if I ever made a tweet to my followers and I said, hey, trust me, I have your best interest in mind. Don't think, like, go by what I say. They would turn on me in a heartbeat, as they should.
Yeah.
To ever assume the mantle of just what's in your following's best interest politically, you're 25. You're not someone I want to fucking listen to. And I'm sorry. I just, these people, I don't trust them. I do not trust them. But anyway, watch that kid and what he posts. I think he's got like 200-something thousand followers on Twitter and some shit like that. But instantly, as soon as Trump started taking any kind of pop shots at DeSantis, this kid went on the attack. He was trying to say that DeSantis is with the swamp. He's like taking donations from Jeb Bush. He was tweeting all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like, yeah, but your boy just endorsed a fucking rhino. Like, okay, dude, okay, whatever. But people eat this shit up. It's like the same people that they listen to Graham Allen too. It's like, I'm sorry, no. So
I'm saying you gotta.
I actually looked up his shit the other day because like, didn't Graham run for Congress? And apparently he backed out because a stronger candidate came along and. Sure. And then he was just like, I read his thing. It was like, I'm going to back whoever the GOP tells me to, pretty much. I'm like, you're such a fucking grifter. You can't turn down that sponsor money, can you?
All right.
You got to make sure that you please your higher ups in the GOP. Constant. I'm so ashamed of these people, man. I'm so ashamed of them. I'm ashamed to ever fucking work with them. But then there you go. That's money. Money does that to a lot of people. Well, hey, folks, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up on the Rumble page. We appreciate that. It helps a lot. Helps us grow the following. Helps us grow the podcast. Hopefully, Rumble doesn't kick me off their platform because I know Turning Point and Kirk and the rest of them are pretty predominant over here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but we'll see. Wouldn't be surprised. But so far, Rumble's fucking been great to us.
Yeah, it
Rumble
wouldn't be
locals.
much of a free speech site if they started kicking people off.
I do respect them for that. Like, I don't know who they've banned that... I don't know if they banned anybody. I mean, I'm sure they have. There's probably like racists that come out here and they try and get their foot in the door, but still, I don't know. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. But yeah. Well, it's pretty bad when Prince Harry apparently was a Apache co-pilot. And he said that he basically had, I think it was like 25 kills. 25 kills during tour of duty in Afghanistan. Okay. That sounds impressive. It's really not. Apache 13 or Apache H helicopters have optics. Their thermals are fucking incredible. You can see a donkey farting from 3 miles away in a fucking snowstorm with those motherfuckers. So being able to pick off Taliban on the side of a mountain, that's kind of like, yeah.
Fish in a barrel?
That's fish in a fucking barrel, bro. But either way, cool. He did it. He served. For what he used to be, it's like, bro, massive respect.
Yeah.
But he talked about this in his interview, and he talked about how well, let me read you the article. It's kind of funny. Britain's Prince Harry spent 10 years in the British Army. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan, the first in 2008 and 2008, second in 2012 and 2013. Though he in 2013 revealed he'd killed Afghan insurgents during attacks against the Taliban, he was an Apache attack helicopter co-pilot gunner. In his January 2023 memoir, Spare, the Duke of Sussex disclosed for the first time that he killed 25 people during his second tour of duty. As reported by The Telegraph, Harry writes in his memoir that he flew on 6 missions that resulted in the taking of human lives. He felt neither proud nor ashamed, explaining that during combat, he thought of those who died not as people, but as chess pieces that had been taken off the board. Harry has long been a terrorist target because of his 2 deployments, but in the wake of the revelations of his book, reports indicate that there are increased concerns for his safety. Okay. You were a chopper pilot, bro. Cool.
Got it.
But that's not really the point of this article. The point is, listen to what the Taliban actually had to say about this kid, and it's pretty bad. In the wake of his revelations, members of the Taliban responded with Taliban commander Maulavi Agha Gul telling DailyMail.com that Harry is a big mouth loser. There's something like poetic in the simplicity of that. There's something just that waxes Shakespearean with, I don't know. This guy's probably got the education level of a 3rd grader, if that. But he doesn't stop there, and it actually gets much better. He's a big mouth loser who fled to his grandmother's palace. Taliban leader Anas Hakim tweeted, "Mr. Harry, the ones you killed were not chess pieces. They were humans. They had families who were waiting for their return." I mean, the same people that were IEDing us, RPGing us, chopping off heads, raping children. Are you fucking kidding me?
Really don't get the high ground there.
Yeah. Didn't you already just tell women you don't have rights in our country? It's like, oh, those Taliban were human beings and they had families waiting for them at home, wives that they were going to beat and rape, and children they were going to put to work in the fields, but you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Fucking retards. The pearl clutching. The pearl clutching from the Taliban. You know times are changing when the Taliban's out there trying to make a PR stunt and it fails miserably. I know. Like, oh my God. Next thing you know, Taliban's going to be talking about like diversity and inclusivity, and we have trans suicide bombers now. And
trans suicide bombers.
Bro.
We'll take it. Numbers are low.
It doesn't even stop there, though. They said, among the killers of Afghans, not many have your decency to reveal their conscience and confess to their war crimes. No, it's called war, and he did it the right way. You just don't like it because, you know, he killed your people, but whatever. The truth is, what you said, our innocent people were chess pieces to your soldiers, military, and political leaders. Still, you were defeated in that game of white and black square. That's called chess. I don't expect that the ICC will summon you or the human rights activists will condemn you because they are deaf and blind for you, but hopefully those atrocities will be remembered in the history of humanity. The funny thing about this is I can see history picking this up and siding with the Taliban. I can see it.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, because it's just like, well, the Taliban didn't do anything. 9/11 was an inside job, whatever you want to say. Eventually, it's just kind of like the truth is already dead. We don't know what the truth is anymore. So they're going to go with the popular opinion. The popular opinion is this woke ideology, and the Taliban is smart for trying to feed into it because liberal people, liberal women especially, are dumb enough they will fall victim to it.
Yeah.
God bless the Taliban. We love the Taliban. But then come to find out, Alabama woman who joined ISIS, remember this a few years ago, is hoping to be allowed back into the U.S. Hoda Muthana had her citizenship revoked by the Obama administration in 2016. A woman who left Alabama to join the Islamic State in 2014 now says she regrets her actions and is hoping to return to the United States. She said, if I need to sit in a prison and do my time, I will do it. I won't fight against it. Hoda Muthana, now 28. Well, you should probably change your name back because it probably wasn't that to begin with, but whatever.
What's her name?
Hoda Muthana. Hakuna Matata.
That's fun.
That's fun.
A fun name.
Now 28, told news movement from the Roj detention camp in Syria, according to the Associated Press, I'm hoping my government looks at me as someone young at the time and naive. No, you made your choice. Now you live with it. Now this is a very hard lesson for you to learn, little girl, but now you're going to learn it. You don't go joining the terrorist group and then expect America, although you could probably do that now and America would still kiss your ass. Muthana was born in New Jersey to Yemeni immigrants and was raised in Alabama, ran away from home at the age of 20 to join ISIS. Raised in a conservative Muslim household, she told her family she was going on a school trip, but instead flew to Turkey and crossed into Syria using funds from secretly cashed tuition checks. Once she arrived in Syria, Muthana says she was detained in a guest house reserved for unmarried women and children. I've never seen that kind of filthiness in my life. Like, there were 100 women and twice as much kids running around, too much noise, filthy beds, she recalled. She said the only way out was to marry an ISIS fighter, and she eventually married 3, giving birth to a child. Her first 2 husbands, including the father of her son, both died in combat. Muthana says she divorced the third. But the former American now says she regrets everything except the birth of her son and hopes to return to U.S. because, no, I just view you as a security threat. You've already let these beasts breed you, so you're probably loyal to them. No thanks. You can stay over there. You fucked them. You had their offspring. No, absolutely not. You made your bed. Now you can go lie in it. It's probably soaked with shit from other people.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
You have fun with that. You see, this is why I can never be a politician. It's like, no, they bred you like cattle. You can stay over there like the cattle you are.
What'd you think it was going to be like?
I don't know. I really don't know. Chaos in Brazil erupts as protesters storm. Have you seen this? What's going on in Brazil? Holy shit. I'm telling
you, those Brazilians don't
fuck around.
No,
protesters stormed the Capitol, destroying Supreme Court and Congress. See January 6th, people? That's how you do it.
That's how it's done.
That's how it's done. I don't even think they had guns. They just mobbed them, though.
Good.
Thousands of opponents of socialist convicted felon President Luiz Encano stormed his offices and the headquarters of Congress and Supreme Federal Tribunal, STF, of Brazil on Sunday, reportedly demolishing the facades of 2 or 3 buildings and causing irreparable damage to priceless artifacts in the chambers. The riot in Brasilia occurred While Lula himself was in Sao Paulo state assessing the damage of recent floods, Lula, in a public statement following police action to subdue the protesters, announced an official federal intervention in Brasilia, consolidating the public security powers of several agencies into the hands of a hand-picked top-level official, and accused police of acting in bad faith and failing to prevent the protesters from storming the buildings. Note the role the police played in that. Police play a very pivotal role in anything remotely close to this. The incident is an offshoot of months of protests following the October presidential election that saw Lula narrowly defeated the then-incumbent president Jair Bolsonaro in 2 rounds of voting. Most protesters support Bolsonaro, but more broadly opposed Lula's victory as illegitimate on several grounds, including his multiple convictions on charges of corrupt acts occurring during his first 2 terms as president. An audit of the 2022 runoff presidential election, which featured only Bolsonaro and Lula as candidates by the armed forces of Brazil, concluded that no guarantee could be made the absence of fraud or irregularities. Damn.
I'm going to put a Brazilian flag in the back of my window.
I'd rather send money to them. Oh, good Lord. Trans activists. They're annoying, right? These boys pretending to be girls.
You know I hate them.
I don't like the trans community. I don't fucking like them.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't care what people do.
I do. It's
keep it off my lawn.
It's too late. It's impacting society at this point. And that attitude right there is the one I used to have. It's too late. It's too late now. They're here. After Hours RuPaul Drag Race show offers free tickets to children under 8. Do you think they're not trying to indoctrinate you folks?
You know, there's parents.
I'm not Alex Jones over here trying to say they're trying to turn the kids gay. They are. Forget the frogs.
These parents are willingly taking their kids there. It's not like people like us.
Yeah.
Who have children who are
Well,
taking
people
our
like
kids
that
to
are
these
growing
events.
in numbers.
Yeah, I mean, but
what happens when they become the majority?
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
That's why
Passing pedophilia-based laws, it's not off the table, folks. Look at how law enforcement's doing nothing over this.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. Tucker Carlson had that guy on his show. I forget what his name was, but it was in reference to controlling the language and then saying everything is love. If you can define anything as love, like love is love, well, it's not love is love. If you're saying
that's pedophilia.
A grown man loves a little girl.
Yeah,
that's pedophilia. That's not.
Folks, these pedophile lovers, oh my God.
Yeah.
Children aged 8 and under were able to attend the after-hours drag queen shows held as part of RuPaul's Drag Race convention in the United Kingdom this weekend for free, a report has claimed. According to a report by Telegraph, 2 after-hours drag queen shows held over the weekend as part of the convention were accessible by children. It's bad enough reading about this. I could not imagine going to an event like this, walking in there, seeing the immoral homosexual degeneracy that is bouncing off the walls in there left and right, and watching children just take this, watch it. I can't.
Can someone who's under 18 or 17 go into a movie theater and buy a ticket? So if a couple 13-year-old kids went to the movie theater, parents drop them off, and instead of going to see a PG-13 movie, they want to go see a rated R movie.
Yeah, they can't.
They can't.
I don't think so.
No, I imagine I remember when I was that age, they would ID or they would ask for your ID if you're old enough.
Underage,
they wouldn't let you in. So it's strange that it would. I don't know. It strikes me as
this is what liberals do. This is what liberals do. They want to indoctrinate the children. They want to build more LGBTQ allies.
You think there'd be some sort of law in place, I guess, that would keep minors from going into adult?
I'll put it this way. The trans community has garnished so much hate, and deservedly so, because of the bullshit they keep trying to force on people. Dave Chappelle disagreed with them publicly, and what did they do? They tried to cancel him. It didn't work. This trans person, this trans activist, listen to this. A trans activist gets woman fired from video game company for crime of following Ian Miles Chung and libs of TikTok on Twitter. She just followed them. That's all she did. She followed them. And you look at this fucking, you look at this wacko. These people deserve, oh my God. I don't get these people. I don't want to get them. You just look at them and you can tell they are mentally disturbed. They are mentally disturbed people. They belong in an institution. But Ian Miles Chung, he's a right-leaning main figure in political Twitter. On Friday, the video game company Limited Run Games fired their community manager, a woman named Kara Lynn, after a far-left trans activist used the name Purple Tinker, demanded that the company either fire Lynn because she followed conservative users on Twitter, such as Ian Miles Chung and libs of TikTok, or lose their support. Folks, These are the trans. They're like, what, 2%? Who gives a fuck? Let them rot. Let them rot. This is what they've turned into. This is what they've turned into. So you wonder why, you don't have any support? More people are hating the trans community? It's because this person right here, and deservedly so. You're not tolerant. You're the furthest thing from it. So what should we do, folks? Go back against them. Speak out. Don't do it to where you get banned, but say the trans movement should never be accepted. Trans men are not men. Trans women are not women. Your narrative will never take hold. Maybe in the left, but never on the right. And I'm sorry, when the right embraces transgenderism, nope. Now because I'm telling you, the idea of as long as it doesn't impact me, folks, it's here. I had that same position up to about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's here. I'm sorry. I'm all for liberty, but this trans bullshit has now gone to the realm to where it's like it's all bets are off. Constitution's gone because the fucking DOJ refuses to do anything about these child drag shows. Nothing's happening. We're seeing more and more pedophilia coming forward, more grooming of children under the banner of the LGBT, and they're going to defend this thing to the death. So I'm sorry. I don't adhere to I don't think that you should deserve rights. No. When you're endorsing pedophilia and grooming of children, I don't give a flying fuck about you or your community. I want it to burn. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. That's where these people are. This is what happens when you give in to a moral degeneracy and mental delusion. So what happens when they come out and they say, well, men can be women, women can be men. I don't feel like a man or a woman. They invent their whole thing, non-binary. This was just birthed in like the last 4 years. This retardation was born because they don't have science on their side. They don't have physical, concrete science. So what do? They push into the realm of psychology because then you can't prove it. It's just literally, this is what studies say. What studies by whom? They're trying to make Jordan Peterson go to attend some fucking lecture and a retraining for his tweets, like the Board of American Psychologists or whatever. And they're like threatening, to revoke his license. Mm-hmm. Groupthink.
Yeah.
Groupthink.
Canada's like totally it's like China. Who is it that said China? I just saw that somewhere. It's pretty funny.
China?
Yeah.
It's just mind-boggling to me how Justin Trudeau can come out there and talk about how he supports the protests in China. And what did you do to your own protests here in Canada? You fucking piece of shit, dude. These tyrants deserve bullets in the fucking head at this point. It's just, they're destroying the world. Who's voting for this idiot?
Who's voting for him?
Fucking liberals. Liberals are the reason that we are seeing the destruction of the world. They think they are pushing all this progressive ideology and it's helping no, you are destroying the world. That's what you do. That's what you do. This trans activist tweeted this out. And so as a result, the video game company Limited Run Games, they said the community, she's a transphobe who follows a veritable of who's who on right-wing transphobic creeps. So again, transphobia to trans people is if you don't agree with me. Therefore, you're transphobic. Okay, I'm transphobic. I hate you. That's fine. I don't care. Like you keep saying these things like we're supposed to give a shit. Like we're supposed to kind of want to try and adhere to your moral rules, or at least lack thereof. You can call me transphobic. It's not that I'm afraid of you. I just don't like you. I think you're fucking weird. I think you need medication. I think you need help. You clearly don't know who you are. Because there was a time I'd be like, hey, not my pig, not my farm. I don't care. Do what you want. But now when this infects society to this level, to now we're seeing the emergence of pedophilia and child grooming, no, you should be held responsible. You should not have the freedoms and the rights that other Americans do when you're trying to sexualize children. You should be in jail.
Yeah, that's the one that has my radars up, is the one where they're trying to redefine pedophilia to minor attracted
persons. Yep.
You can't even let that get a little bit of traction.
Oh, it already is. Scotland's doing it.
You got to shut that shit down. Well, here in the United States, everybody's got to band together and be like, no, it's pedophilia. It's not
Republicans need to stop caving to the left.
Love isn't love.
Yeah, no, love is not love. But Republicans need to stop worrying about these labels the left wants to paint on us. Like, you're a transphobic bigot. Yeah, cool, whatever, dude. Go burn in hell and give a fuck about the opinions of scum like you. Yeah. But Limited Run Games basically came out with this tweet like on January 6th and says, Limited Run Games respects all personal opinions. No, you don't, because you fired somebody who doesn't have the same opinion as you. However, we remain committed to supporting an inclusive culture. No, you didn't. You banned a Christian woman that didn't agree with you. Well, she didn't even say anything about trans. She just followed these accounts. That's it. Upon investigating a situation, an employee was terminated. Our goal as a company is to continue to foster a positive and safe environment for everyone. You literally pandered some fucking whack job transgender fruitcake that had like 3,000 followers that probably didn't buy your shit to begin with, whose fucking name is some Tinker Purple or some gay shit like that, and you're sitting there saying that you're an organization of inclusion? We live in the age of such blatant hypocrisy that these people can say the most stupid, backwards, black and white bullshit. Everybody calls them on it, and they just keep going on. Like, you would think leftists know how to play this game. They just keep on doing it and lying about it.
What's the name of the?
Limited Run Games. I tagged them on Instagram. They're also on Twitter. But you got to respect this strategy. You say what you're going to do the opposite, keep doing it, pretend like everything is hunky-dory, and you ignore people that call you out. You just keep doing it. Eventually, because they know eventually people forget. People forget, they'll move on. This is the reason, like, these people are fucking scumbags. But this ex-employee, she's got a case.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a case. And for some good news, here's some good news.
Let me go over here to their...
Ex-Virginia Tech soccer player allegedly benched for not kneeling for the BLM. She gets $1,000 in the settlement. Josh brought this to my attention. I love this. A former Virginia Tech women's soccer team member who alleged that her coach benched her because she would not bow down and take a knee in support of the Black Lives Matter Marxist organization has won a $100,000 settlement. Kirsten Hennigan has agreed to take the settlement to bow out of her lawsuit against the school and coach Charles Chugger Adar, whom she sued on the First Amendment grounds, according to Fox News. The former student's attorney, Cameron Norris, noted the settlement does not include any admission of wrongdoing by the coach or school. It doesn't matter. She got the fucking money. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Here's the thing. They're never going to do that again. They will never do that again. Early in December, U.S. District Judge Thomas T. Cullen gave former Hokies midfielder the okay to sue the school and coach after Henning said the coach benched her for refusing to join in the win with the team's kneeling in 2020 as a unity statement in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Good for her. Good for her.
Yep. Should have had more cases like that, man.
Yeah. But what I love about this is that somebody, like, they'll fire this white girl that's a Christian, but you won't do shit about Islam. You won't say anything about Islam. It's okay. Islam teaches the same thing, if not worse, about homosexuality. I mean, if we look at the difference between Christians and Islam, or Christians and Muslims right now, who are the ones chucking the homosexuals over the fucking roofs, off the roofs? That ain't the Christians. It's the Muslims. Am I wrong? Did the stats back what I'm saying?
No, you're correct.
But people don't like hearing that because it hurts their little feelings. John, you're an Islamophobe. You're right. I am afraid of that religion taking root and fucking, well, I mean, it's already taken root for many thousands of years, but it's an oppressive religion. It 100% is.
They are dedicated.
They're very dedicated. And they have some really good schmack talking towards the royal family.
They gave it to Harry.
They did. Again, don't forget, folks, After Hours, RuPaul Drag Race. I'm sorry, a man pretending to be a woman, there's something wrong with you. You're not a man. Like, these people should just be all put them all in California and then blow the fault line and let them drift into the ocean.
Is RuPaul, is he even gay? I thought he was married with kids.
Ugh, what a fucking whack. Oh, God, no. What a weirdo.
I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up now.
You see how this open-mindedness can take root, folks?
I'll tell you what, that company...
Limited Run Games?
Oh, yeah, they're getting ratioed hard.
Good,
on
but
Twitter.
that's not enough.
Limited their comments.
Oh, yeah, they turned off a lot of their comments. But that's not enough. It needs to be like an actual boycott. Like, don't ever support them again. That's just ridiculous. Because here's the thing. This is what's going to happen with online cancel culture. They're going to come after you for like 24, 48, 72 hours, maybe a week. It's going to be trending. You'll get a lot of comments up front. Then they'll start to trickle off. Then eventually something else is going to happen and they're going to go off to the next thing. So even though it's great to ratio these motherfuckers, that's not enough. Just don't buy from them anymore. Tell your friends, make a list, and say, look, this is the reason why. These are the woke companies. Stay away from them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're getting ratioed hard. Good.
Good.
That's what they need.
Fucking good.
Limited run groomers.
May Allah destroy you. Rapist barber jailed for sending COVID cash to ISIS. A convicted rapist has once been jailed in Britain after he was found guilty of sending COVID pandemic payments to the Islamic State. Tariq Namu, and if you think that didn't happen here in America, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yep.
Tariq Nammouz, 43, has once again been put behind bars after authorities found that he had sent over 11,000 euro or $13,000 to the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. Some of the money by Muslim extremists is believed to have originated from COVID relief funds provided to him by the British government over the period of lockdown, with the cash injections being aimed at keeping the rapist barber shop in the West London open. However, according to a report by The Telegraph, the funding instead appears to have gone to ISIS, with Nammouz allegedly bragging to a fellow inmate in prison that he had sent at least $25,000 or $30,000 to the Islamic State for the purpose of funding the jihad. Nammouz, who has previously been jailed for raping a woman at a pub where he was the landlord, has now been convicted of 8 counts of entering into funding arrangement for terrorism between November 2020 and May of 2021. Interesting. ISIS bride enjoys media spotlight after serving less than half her 6-year sentence. What is ISIS bride? Okay. Jihadi tribe. This was, this is from back in December 2021. Yeah, I remember this. Well, listen to this. You remember that GoFundMe that happened, say 1 or 2 years ago, where this couple was driving down the road, running out of gas, and this homeless guy gave him $20 to fill up their tank, and they started to GoFundMe for him. Do y'all remember this? I'm sure if you're watching the Rumble stream, you'll recognize the photograph being shown here. This attractive young woman, and this looks to be a guy with a beard. He looks homeless. This went viral, and they raised a lot of money. A lot of money. A woman was sentenced to Friday to 3 years in New Jersey State Prison for her part in a well-known $400,000 GoFundMe scam that defrauded more than 14,000 people. Kayla McClure, 32, was not present at her sentencing in Burlington County, as she is already serving her 1-year federal term in the case in a Connecticut prison, according to the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office, the New York Post reported Sunday. The state sentence will run concurrent to the federal sentence, the prosecutor's office said, adding the former State Department of Transportation employee is barred from working as a public employee in the future. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, in 2017, McClure and her then boyfriend, Mark D'Amico, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud after they invented a heartwarming but bogus story claiming that a homeless veteran, Johnny Bobbitt Jr., had just spent his last $20 to help McClure fill up her gas tank while she was stranded on I-95 in Philadelphia. The pair launched a GoFundMe campaign titled Pay It Forward, which donors believe was going to get Bobbitt off the streets and into a home. The GoFundMe's initial goal was set at $10,000, according to Breitbart News. In a few weeks' time, the couple had defrauded thousands of donors out of $400,000, which was eventually transferred to their personal accounts, where they spent most of it on themselves. In November of 2018, audio from McClure's attorney purportedly recorded her speaking with her former boyfriend, D'Amico, in which a woman is heard claiming, "I had no part in any of this." Bobbitt eventually learned from the couple about what really happened. D'Amico reportedly later opened a bank account for the man, and the pair deposited $25,000. Bobbitt later admitted to helping the couple concoct the scam and was sentenced to 5 years probation. D'Amico later pleaded guilty and received a 5-year state prison sentence that runs concurrently with the previous federal term. In addition, the former couple was ordered to pay back all the money to GoFundMe. Jesus. Folks, that's why I don't fuck with GoFundMes. The rare times I do, I know the person personally and I can personally vouch for them. But I never fuck with GoFundMes. I never fuck with these charities. This is so fucking common. You remember that Australian midget kid that was getting bullied? Remember that? You remember this? It was like maybe 2 years ago. He was Australian. Apparently, he's a midget. He was getting picked on in school for being a midget, yada, yada, yada. And then people started to GoFundMe, and his mom started doing interviews, and you kind of look at her as like, man, she's some fucking trailer trash looking bitch. And then come to find out, this kid's a little shithead. He's a little shithead that bullies other people. Mm-hmm. And so he raised this GoFundMe. And Chris Evans, the movie star, even like did a thing like, you're the real Captain America, whatever. They even sent him to Disney World for free. But videos started circulating of this little shithead being a little fucking ghetto little shithead. Like throwing up gangbanger signs and stuff, act like a little fat gangster. It's like,
I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember that's when that Janae Perfectly Fraud cunt came after me the first time. She's like, you're just so miserable. It's like, bitch, come to find out that was a fucking scam.
Yeah.
They were lying. You never apologized to me for that one, did you, bitch? No. Dumb cunt.
You
Now
know
you're working
what's-
for Grunt Style. What a fucking hoe.
A little bit more upsetting to me about this whole story. So they raised $400,000. They conned a bunch of people. But you have the United States government sending billions and billions of dollars overseas to foreign countries and all this other.
It's okay when
and
the government does it.
We just got to take it right in the face for all this stuff. They're not going to tell us where the money goes. They're not going to tell us anything.
We should move Shell Shock HQ to some island. Let's get the fuck out of here. Like,
Costa
folks,
Rica.
yeah, let's do it. Let's go to Costa Rica. Let's open up an office there. You know, we can upcharge a little bit in shipping. But the deal is, like, I'm tired of paying so much fucking money in taxes to support these foreign interest wars.
I know. We
meanwhile-
have this stuff here, and then you have people coming across the border illegally, which we're footing the bill for,
So-
especially here in Texas,
Yeah.
because it costs us like $80 billion.
Yeah,
It's 80. I think it's like $80 billion a year
it was a lot, yeah.
for Texas citizens.
But the thing that I want to point to this is that billionaires and millionaires, these much larger company CEOs, they can afford to do that, folks.
Yeah.
And that's why they do that. I don't blame them. I don't blame them in the slightest whatsoever. I just don't. You work to make that money. And the government steps in and says, we're going to take a piece and you're actually getting nothing for it. Well, then why? Fucking why? Why would I stay in the shithole fucking economic system the government and the IRS have fucked us with? It's like, I'd rather go to Costa Rica and save more of my money. Why not?
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. This is what people don't get. You let me save more of my money, I'm probably going to spend more of my money.
Well, that's how it goes. But these politicians get paid
Yep.
off of the backdoor deals that
Yep.
they do.
It's
That-
ridiculous.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So that's why you had all these companies going overseas, going over to places like Ireland, who have, 17% federal tax?
Oh, they tax the fuck out of their citizens. But yeah,
For businesses, though. But when you drop
Yeah.
it down, when ours dropped down to 21%, you started to see businesses come back every other.
Yep.
Like, I think the United States is, on paper, a better country than every other country in the world. I don't think there's any other country that could compare to this country if it's run correctly.
I was about to say, you're right in the sense of, like, look how much money we throw away internationally, and yet we're still thriving. Well, I mean, actually, no. I'm selling eggs by the dozen for about $50 a pop. Do you want them? No, seriously. Have you seen the cost of eggs?
Eggs,
It's
bacon,
fucking insane.
everything's going back up.
It's going right back up.
They got everything that
Even worse.
for the midterms, and then it's right back up.
Yep.
Watch out for gasoline
I think
prices.
a carton of eggs now, realistically, I think it's like $10.
Everything's
I think it's like $10 or $11. Could
way
be wrong
more
on that.
expensive.
Where it used to be like $3.99, $4.99. Fuck, dude, it's cheaper to go buy your own fucking chickens at this point.
That's the goal right now is to
That
get
is
some
kinda
chickens and
yeah.
get some fucking goats that you can milk and play in a farm.
Bro, I've been juicing like crazy now.
Yeah.
And you got to buy more fruit, but the juice, I like it better.
You like the juice?
I like the juice.
The juice
I like
is
the
good.
juice so much. I like the juice all over my face. No, I don't think I can have chickens in my yard. I think my HOA would probably shit themselves if I
Yeah,
did.
you'd have to go at it.
Yeah. So the goal is to, like, I'm putting a lot of money into this house, and I'm eventually going to rent it out, and then I'm going to go live somewhere else with a piece of land that I build. It's like a 5-year goal. But first, this housing market needs to unfuck itself, because right now it's
Yeah,
not
that's the
worth
other
it.
thing.
It's not even worth it. Maybe buying the land potentially, because nobody's buying. So they're going to drop it down now. But as far as building a house, hell no.
Yeah.
I forget. I think last I checked, the cost per foot of wood is usually like $7, $7 or $8, which is insanely high per foot. That used to be what you get an actual fucking 8x, or was it? Oh fuck! It's been a minute. 2x4s went up. Everything went up, but the amount per foot, it usually costs that for the entire piece of wood, entire board, like 8 foot, I think. And I'm just like, wow. So nobody's buying, nobody's building. It's just, yeah. And then, yeah, Katie makes a good point in the chat. Look at the cost to feed the animals. The grain costs have went way up. Way up. I saw that one video of that one farmer saying we used to pay like $4 or $5 for a bag of feed that's now went up to like 14 to 20.
Yeah.
That gets baked into their process, folks.
Yeah.
If their prices go up, yours are going up. And what's caused there to go up? Theirs. That's the question we've been asked. Is, why are these prices going up?
The Biden administration.
The Biden administration. We are sending so much money abroad. It's losing its value here in America. I'm just, and it's not just that. There's so many other factors that go into this, but I'm at a loss, dude. I'm at a loss. But last but most certainly not least, A California National Guard general, color me shocked. It's out of California. National Guard general fired after allegedly he made troops take his mom shopping.
All right.
I am just wow. Okay. Brigadier General Jeffrey Magrum is fifth general to retire, be fired from the California National Guard in the last 4 years. The California National Guard fired a top commander after reports he used troops to carry out personal errands and put an F-15 fighter jet on standby in an order that raised concerns it would be used to frighten civilian protesters. Brigadier General Jeffrey Magrum is said to be involuntarily transferred this week to the U.S. Air Force Retired Reserve, which a California National Guard spokesperson said is parallel to a firing. No, a firing is parallel to a firing. My question is, does he get to retire with full benefits?
Yes. I'm going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes. So then he wasn't fired. And this piece of shit clearly abused his rank, his position, which if this had been an enlisted man, he'd have been crucified to an iron cross and put on public display. But being he's a general, do you not see the nepotism that exists within the military? Do you not see the double-sided, again, two-faced tactics between the officers and enlisted? If you get high enough up the food chain, you're untouchable. Well, this piece of shit, clearly, just like, wow. And, we're going to throw him over here. It's the same as being fired. No, being fired is the same as being fired. That's not being fired. You're just, basically what this is, folks, lift up the rug and sweep it under and he'll go away. Because he knows some people, probably. The news comes after an international disciplinary board internal disciplinary board subjugated multiple allegations against Magrum, including accusations he readied a fighter jet for a possible domestic mission in 2020 during the early days of the coronavirus pandemic. Some officials feared the order will result in a plane buzzing civilian protesters in an attempt to disperse crowds. No, because they're never going to fire on you. Like, remember that. They can buzz you with planes. They can never fire on you. That is, oh my God. Can you imagine? That would be war. The people would arm up and you'd be dead. For a plane to fire on a crowd? Whew. Whew. That's why the Eric Swalwell retards, they'll use nuclear weapons on their own people. No, they won't. Bro, if you used a nuke on your own people, you'd be pulled out of your fucking house and guillotined, and justifiably so. Don't let your liberal voter base make you think that you have any teeth in this fight. You don't. You got legislative power, but if push ever came to shove and it came down to bullets, you're done. You're fucking done. You don't have the guns. You don't have the experience. The majority of the fighters are not on your side. But listen to this. Another probe into Magrum's conduct found that the general inappropriately used subordinates to carry out personal tasks, including an instance in which he had an on-duty guard member drive him nearly 120 miles round trip to a dental appointment? Say, what?
Huh.
So basically he used his troops as Uber drivers. The unnamed service member was quoted in one document as saying that he did not want to take Magrum to the appointment because my job is to take care of the airmen in the state of California and not be a chauffeur for a general. In another incident, Magrum had a guard member take his mother on a shopping trip, with the member saying she was particular. When I say particular, it had to be at Whole Foods. It just took her a long time to decide what she wanted, a lot of comparison shopping amongst products. The report also found that the general failed to complete mandatory cybersecurity training for about 2 weeks, eventually enlisting the help of a subordinate to take the training for him. In a statement to an inspector general, Magrum didn't deny the accounts of subordinates who had complained about running errands for him, said he believes the personal trips were consistent with the Air Force's wingman concept. Really? It's called abuse of authority, you dipshit. Like the wingman concept? I thought okay, so fair enough. What are you doing to be their wingman, General? What are you doing for those troops that helped you out? Or is this the one-way wing that we're talking about?
It sounds more like the second one you got there.
This piece of shit. What a piece of shit. I want to reiterate that had I ever had any ethics issues like this from subordinates, peers, or commanders who complained about running errands for him, or no, hold on, the thing just updated, I lost it. Yeah. Peers of commanders or perceptions of such, I would have corrected or addressed it on the spot, Magrum said in a statement. Now, here's the thing. But the investigation's report noted that Magrum had been previously counseled in 2017 for similar behavior, saying his wingman argument rings hollow. Your conduct has caused me to lose faith, trust, and confidence in your ability to continue serving, Major General Matthew Beavers, the Guard's acting adjutant general, wrote in a memorandum to Magrum that was obtained by military.com. Magrum is now the 5th general to resign, retire, be fired by the California National Guard as a result of scandals in the last 4 years. A Guard spokesperson did not immediately respond to a Fox News request for comment. Good Lord.
Unbelievable.
Fifth in California to resign. That's not shocking. Like I'm Michael, it's not really shocking to me. They're shitbags over there. It is what it is. Well, folks, that does it for today's episode of the All American Savage Show podcast. Look, I know I say it a lot, but for our show to grow, we need your help and support to share the show. Tell your friends about the show. Help us grow, and I really appreciate that. It does so much for us. I cannot tell you guys enough. Every time you hit that share button on your social media or you tag us, it helps the show grow. So if you want to continue hearing us do this amazing content, I forgot to tell you. I love stupid people sometimes. I did that video on Instagram about Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump's horrible picks. And some dude just said that you're not a policy or political expert. If you did, or if you were, you'd run, but you're not. You just complain, blah, 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 blah. And I'm reading this comment, and apparently I was going to reply, but you can reply with a reel now. I was like, oh, do say more.
Oh, snap.
So I replied, and the dude was just bitching. So I didn't block him. I just made him unfollow me. It's like, okay, if you don't want to be here and you're not going to unfollow, I'll make you unfollow. Then you don't have to be here. Or I'll just block you, whichever. I was feeling gracious that day. Because some people eventually come to Jesus and they're like, oh, Burke was right. Mm-hmm. So this dude then tags my backup account, John Burke 1775, and my main account with a response. And basically calling me out. I was like, John doesn't like being called out. He's a bitch. He fucking does all this stuff. He blocks people that disagree. So I liked this post because nobody else did. And then I commented below. I was like, hey, dude, you weren't blocked. You were just unfollowed. Or you were forcibly unfollowed because you said you didn't like my stuff. And in my response video, I just swatted back at you what you accused me of. Because he basically said, if you're a policy expert, you'd run. So like John Fetterman, he's an expert. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Is that it? So I love that. I love those people. And then sure enough, like he deleted the post. And he probably is going to kiss my ass later in some DMs if I eventually ever turn him back on. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. You were right. You're not a policy expert. Yeah, but I got more people tuning in to listen to what I have to say than you do, you fucking loser. Oh, these fucking peasants. I swear to God, they should know their place. Anywho, hey, support us, Charles Shucks. I didn't even block them. I was just like, all right, you can still check out my content. You're just not going to comment.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to come over here and bash me, it's like, and I love that they always do that. They always do that. They always go to the triggered thing. And the only reason I bring this up is it's just funny as fuck to me to see. And you guys can kind of get a day in the life of me on the other end of the social media spectrum. And this guy is just like, oh, John blocked me. I must have triggered him. It's like, no, you came into my house. You tell me I'm an idiot. You tell me all of these things. And you expect me to let you stay in my house? Mm-hmm. But if I remove you from my said house, then you must have gotten me triggered. No, I just don't let pieces of shit come in here and insult me in my house. You can go do it on your page. But then when I countered you and I liked your comment and I liked your post because nobody else did of the 500 people that follow you were supposedly, like, that's kind of fucking pathetic, bro. That's really pathetic. That and I'm just an asshole. I'm a fucking asshole too. Sometimes I'm just an asshole. You got to make examples. You got to make examples of these little peasants. They got to know their place. King John got to like whip the dick out and smack him a few times. Like, look, bitch, we're not on the same level. You're stupid. I'm not. I'm such a dick. I don't care. Anyway, folks, that does it for today's episode. We appreciate you. Thank you for all your love and support. Again, go enter to win right now. ShellShockCBD.com. $50 spend or more. Get you entered and get that brand new iPhone 14. Also, don't forget, what the hell? Oh, okay. Here's the link. This is my Get Review email sign up. Go check it out. Don't sleep on this, folks. This is where you can sign up to get updates if I ever get banned or whatever. It's my email list. Nobody gets access to it. Go sign up. That's all there is to it. If I ever get banned, I can email you guys like, hey, here's my new account. So you got anything to add, my man?
You guys have a great day.
And as always, go fuck yourself, saying, no, stay a savage, America.